Jeff Deskovic here again, the Jeffrey Deskovic Foundation for Justice. We're at 60 Center Street, where moments ago there was a press conference calling on Governor Cuomo to sign S-2412, which the New York State Legislature recently passed, which would create the country's first commission on prosecutorial conduct. Assemblyman Perry, Assemblyman Court, Senator Bailey, Alderwoman Garriga were amongst the elected officials here today. Many different organizations were present, including exonerees. But then also there was an often forgotten voice in this struggle, those falsely accused but acquitted. So with such a person I'm going to interview now, we have H. Bosh Jr. Tell me your story in a nutshell.
Okay, first of all, thank you so much, Jeff, for having me on. I appreciate all the work you do to push the ball forward in advocating for the wrongfully prosecuted as well as the wrongfully convicted. Briefly, my name is H. Bosh Jr. I'm a motivational speaker, radio personality, entrepreneur. But today I'm here advocating on behalf of the wrongfully prosecuted, wrongfully convicted. My story starts briefly. 2005, I was the owner of H. Bosh Moving and Storage, upstate New York. I owned the largest minority moving company in upstate New York. At that time, I had 12 workers, 3 trucks, making $500,000 a year. April 2005, my house caught fire. All right. 1 month later, I was charged, 4 counts, arson and 3 other felonies, facing 35 years in prison. 2 years later, after spending upwards of $200,000 in money, cash, I was acquitted, found innocent, which leads me to my next journey, which is here today.
Okay, well, let me say to you though, I mean, you were found not guilty. You were not wrongfully convicted. You were not wrongfully imprisoned, right?
Yeah.
You were acquitted. So what's your beef?
Well, my beef is plain and simple. It still changed the trajectory of my life. I cannot compare by any stretch of the imagination to your story, but we both went through the criminal justice system. I went through it, you went through it, and we both have the side effects of which we have to deal with. It changed my life, it changed my business, my family life. So my beef is, I don't want to happen to me what happened, or I don't want to happen to someone else what happened to me. So my work, my job moving forward is to try to change the system so it could better represent people coming after me. That's my beef.
What was the prosecutorial misconduct in your case, specifically?
Oh boy, where did I start? I'm sorry. I would say to start was they never had a case, and the prosecutorial colluded, okay, or with the insurance company, because the bottom line was the insurance company did not want to pay the premium on my house. They never had a case. They kept pushing the prosecution to make a case, all right? And eventually the prosecution went along with it, knowing full well there was never any evidence to sustain my arrest. That's my beef.
Okay, now you mentioned before that you mentioned that you do radio interviews. So you're actually a radio personality and you have a show. Talk about the station and the name of the show and what is the type of content that you often have on there.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm just beating you up. I am a radio personality, WOOC 105.3 FM, Troy, New York. It comes on every Thursday. It's called the Triple E's, Education, Empowerment, Entrepreneurship. And I cover a host of guests. It gives me the opportunity to really have a genre that is really huge, and also to bring awareness and exposure to organizations, people, and individuals to further their causes. That's what I do.
Well, listen, I want to thank you very much for your advocacy work, and you're not walking away, you're not giving up. I've teamed up with you in numerous events throughout New York and across the country, and it's always great to chat with you. You have great charisma and personality, and thank you very much for your work. And by the way, you know, if you are an educator or you are involved in an organization of any kind and you bring public speakers in, it's not often that you have a public speaker who's going to talk about being falsely accused but acquitted. Okay, there's not very many speakers doing that, so I feel like the work that you do is unique. Consider bringing H. Bosh Jr. in to give a presentation. So with that, thank you very much. You want to add something?
Real quick, yes. You can reach me at Facebook, H. Bosh Jr. on Facebook. You can also reach me on Twitter or Instagram. Phone number is 518-522-7627. Email is madetobelieve@yahoo.com. Before I end, I just got to say, hello, hello.
Hello.
This is a lady who we both stand on her shoulders. Mwah. There you go.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you.
Get Doreen.
Jeff.